Welcome back to another episode of the Humble Hustle Podcast. We're your hosts, Nick and Kayla.
Hello, hello.
And we have a guest today.
We have a guest, Sam. Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hello, everyone. I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
I've known Nick for a very long time. We actually started production together. So for some further context, I run a production company called Seamount Media. I also have kind of like a wedding side of that called Seamount Weddings, which I run with Nick. But kind of got into it. Me and Nick actually started Seamount Media together back in 2021. We met while both working at a grocery store. Ironically, he was in the hometown that I grew up in because he was going to college at the University of Rhode Island. We met at the grocery store on his last day. We never talked before that.
Oh yeah, we worked same shifts. I just never spoke a single word to him.
I did not know you worked at the grocery store. Hannaford's?
No, it was like some like bougie little boutique grocery store.
Okay.
It's called Belmont Market, if anybody from Rhode Island is listening.
But I did work in Hannaford with like your friend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Shannon.
That's crazy. I didn't know that's how you met.
So funny little side note before I go into the rest of it. I was at a Red Sox game recently and I was sitting in front of the manager that introduced the two of us together.
Oh my God.
And she like texted me and she was like, look behind you. And I turned around and I told her, I'm like, by the way, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for you. So it was like crazy, like little butterfly effect thing.
That is so crazy.
Juliana.
Oh, I don't even remember.
She introduced us. I remember that.
I kind of blocked that whole time out of my life.
That's crazy.
But I was like, I probably would not be sitting in this chair today if it wasn't for her social skills, whatever.
Isn't it weird how that happens?
Yeah.
It's
anyway,
crazy.
Shout out Juliana if she's listening. Anyway, so we started kind of just like shooting stuff together informally. We did a couple travel videos together. That was like our first big project. And Nick was wrapping up college, so he was trying to figure out, kind of what he was wanting to do. Tried to start a production company at first, didn't really work out. He knew he still wanted to do that. So he's like, I need to bring somebody on. I was a freshman in college at the time. I'm like, I have no idea what.
How old are you?
I was, how old am I now?
Now.
23.
Oh yeah, you're younger. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, you want to start this thing? I'm like, sure. Filed the LLC papers in my college dorm room, which I think is kind of like a fun little story.
That is so fun.
And yeah, we were shooting stuff from there. Had kind of like a couple great years there. Nick decided he kind of like wanted to start his own thing, but we kept the wedding core together. And yeah, since 2023, it's been go, go, go. And hasn't stopped since. So that's kind of like how I came to be where I am now.
So can you tell me I think you've told me before, but the meaning behind Seamount Media? How'd you guys come up with that?
So Seamount was kind of like, I didn't realize it was a real word before I
Seamount means underground or underwater mountains.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's like a scientific term.
Interesting.
Geographical term.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm from the coast, Nick's from New Hampshire. We'll just combine them together. I'm like, Seamount Media. It's a nice two-syllable thing. It was catchy. He didn't like it at first, but it grew on him.
It was cheesy, but it's like just cheesy enough that it works.
Yeah. No, I like it a lot.
Yeah. And now what it means is kind of like, because I've developed into more of this travel hospitality focus, is kind of like, I guess, versatility, and I don't know, it feels a little bit more travel-y. So I guess it fits that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah,
I love that. And so you went to college where?
At the University of Rhode Island as well.
And what did you study?
I studied film.
Okay.
I always say this too, anytime somebody asks me like where I went and what I studied film. Didn't really do much for me. Not to hate on the film program at URI at all, because it is a great film program, but it's great if you're looking to do Hollywood production or actually TV broadcast production. There's a lot of kids I know from there who are doing well now in those realms. But if you're looking to get into commercial production, maybe like large scale commercial production, it might be good for. But if you're doing one-man band stuff, freelance work, it's not really the ideal program.
To be fair, not many college programs are ideal for
No.
teaching this type of thing anyway.
No, I almost feel like you need to do, I would have, if I could go back and do it again, I would go for business.
So I minored in business.
There you
I
go.
actually tried to, freshman year when I was thinking about starting this, I tried to switch my major and switch it to a marketing major. And the marketing major person was like, no, we're not taking anybody. I was like, what? I was like, since when do you like
Cap that.
Yeah, I guess
Didn't know that
maybe
was a
they
thing.
maybe
That's
they
such a
just
big
have too many.
school, too.
But she's like, you can do a business minor, and I'm like, all right, fine. And like, actually, all of my business courses that I took were probably the most valuable courses that I took in college. Like, I loved the accounting class I took. I did take a marketing class. It was kind of like more marketing theory, like learning the why behind why people buy, things like that. There was like a management class where I was talking about like leading people and stuff, and that was actually really valuable. So like I did get a little bit out of it. I do think I could have figured those things out eventually as well. So like college wise, I probably could have dropped out, could have gone that route, but I think of it now as like very expensive career insurance, just having a bachelor's degree, just that
Yeah.
piece of paper. It's like okay to have, but
Back then, I tried to make him drop out.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was, well, I mean, we were busy with production while I was busy with college, and it was really tough.
Yeah, that actually is wild that you did it at the same time.
Yeah. The second I ended up kind of like front loading everything and graduating a semester early, and I was like, see you later.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Again, no shade to the University of Rhode Island. You guys are a great institution.
But did you enjoy generally your college experience?
I didn't really have a college experience. I don't
Did you
think.
commute?
So I lived 5 minutes from the campus. Like I grew up 5 minutes away from URI. And the first year I was like, I'm going to live on campus just to do it, just make it part of my tuition, whatever. But that first year was 2020, 2021. So it was not you got hit with it in the spring that previous year of COVID. And then we just had kind of like that rebound year. And it was like,
I didn't even think
dorms are it was very quiet, so there wasn't really much of a campus life going on, very regimented. It wasn't, so I didn't get much of that, but I don't really care that much anymore.
Yeah. I feel so bad for the people that got gypped with COVID because I had the absolute best college experience. I met my fiance there. I met some of my best friends there. I just loved it. Like I thrived. I had so much fun. I like to say that I learned so much about who I was and the kind of person, because I went into college, I was so shy. Like I was such a shy kid. And then I went in and I majored in journalism, and you get forced out of your shell really quick when you major in journalism. Like you're going out, you're interviewing people, you're chasing stories. I was on the student newspaper staff, so I did a whole bunch of stuff with that. And I don't regret my experience at all. I loved it. I had so much fun. I learned a lot in my journalism major. We had like a really, really stacked group of kids in my graduating year where, the newspaper was better than it had been in years. We just took it to another level, and our professors were great. We were very close with all of our professors. So I just had a lot of fun. And I graduated 2019, which was obviously the last normal year anyone had.
Yeah.
Like full year. Just sucks.
My marketing professor actually was kind of like, because there's a few people in like the business major area who are kind of like, why am I here at college? Why am I not like building something? And so he kind of like told a few of us who were doing kind of this entrepreneurial journey at the same time. He's kind of like, you're not really going to use college for like you guys in your scenario, you're not going to use college for like the actual educational benefits, but you should use it as a networking opportunity. And I tried to do that a little bit. It's just, I feel like there wasn't as many of the right people there. Like I networked with a few creatives. There's some good friendships that came out of it as well. Not as many as I would have hoped. I was hoping to just like, have it all set from there. But yeah, like college was not a total loss. Looking back, hindsight is 2020. Probably just would have avoided it, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
It's hard to tell because I didn't know I wanted to start a business until one of my mentors, who was a client of the previous company I worked for, was like, why don't you start your own business? And I never thought about it before that, because it's a scary thing. Like, being an entrepreneur is no joke, no matter what industry you decide to go in. And I had zero business experience. I was living at home with my parents. And I think that's kind of what made me decide to do it. Was like, it was very low risk for me. Like, I didn't have rent. I didn't have a family I needed to provide for. I was like, I can kind of just try this, see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just get a job. Like, that's kind of what my mentality was. And I had no idea. Like, I honestly didn't expect to have as much success as I do now. When I started it, I was like, oh, I'll just do this for a while and then see what happens. And, you know, my resume was ready to go for when I failed. And then I just kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is cool. I'll just keep doing this for a while. And now I'm like full throttle, like, just, I'm so happy that I did it. Yeah.
I've never even made a real resume.
It's crazy.
Like,
They
never.
didn't make you do that in college?
If I did it in college, it was for like the grade.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
I
deleted
did
it.
for assignments.
Wow.
So,
But on it, I put business owner and like these things. I just followed
Yeah.
the template.
Yeah.
It's just, I wanted to do it since basically day one. Wow. And like, yeah, the background, like the what'd you call it? Have the college being
A networking opportunity.
no, like your fallback type thing. Like,
Oh, career insurance.
yeah, insurance. Like,
yes.
having that career insurance is nice and all.
Yes.
Like, you like having, yeah, I'll just get a job if I fail.
Yeah.
That, like, in my head, the way I thought about it, failure simply was not an option.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to do this. I'm ambitious. I am confident in myself. I will find a way to make it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care about a backup plan. There is no backup plan. This is it.
And that's kind of the
Entrepreneurship
mentality
is-
you should have.
It's a lot more stable than you think it is, you know?
It is. I think it's a lot more stable than people make it out to be.
It's stable if you have the drive to do
Yes.
it. If it's only unstable if you take on that mindset, which is something like I've had like mentors talk to me about before, is the scarcity mindset. It's like, if you are just constantly worried about that stuff, then it's going to manifest. So you just can't be, a lot of people are like, oh, like, how am I going to make sure like I have income next month? It's just like, no, just, you will.
Yep.
It will come from somewhere.
Yep. But I don't think everyone has what it takes to do
No.
it.
No.
You just need a little bit of drive and determination. It doesn't even have to be crazy. I would like to think I'm driven and determined, and, you know, maybe some outside people would say I'm more determined than I think I am, but I feel like just without a little bit of a push, you know, I wouldn't have done this sort of thing. But you just need a little bit of it. And if you have a little bit of it, you will make it work, and it is fairly stable, you know?
Yeah.
I think you also need risk tolerance.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
it's similarly, it's not as risky as people might make it out to be,
Especially now.
but it's still a risk.
Yeah.
You're signing up for the uncertainty in a way, and you need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too. Your job is not that stable either. It's
No,
not as
it's
stable as you
not.
think it is.
It's not.
It's stable in the sense that you have benefits and health insurance and things like that right away, which you can get, you know, with entrepreneurship as well. You can build up to that point. You're just providing those things to your employees as well.
Yep.
But they can fire you at any point as well. There's just a few like little legal protections here and there,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like you're also disposable at your job,
Yeah.
you know,
It's true.
which is the harsh truth. So nothing is actually that stable.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
But I do think, you know, our industry, like, if you think about someone who wants to go into plumbing and start their own plumbing business, or maybe, you know, electrical, whatever, those things I would consider as like necessities. People are always going to need someone to fix their toilet, fix their sink, stuff like that. So our industry, I do feel like, is tough, especially when people are falling on financial times. Economy's not strong. Everything's expensive. I have had people tell me, like, we don't have the budget for that right now, or we don't have the budget for that anymore. We need to really, people are a lot more tight with their spending. So finding the
Yeah.
right clients is challenging sometimes.
So here's the thing too, like in our industry, you can position yourself as the necessity
I know.
as well,
I struggle with that.
which is,
I don't think
and
we'll
it's not
ever be
positioning-
as necessary as those other people, though. You can in a way, but we're never going to be as necessary as like the
valued, yeah.
tradespeople.
right. You
We'll
need
still
to
be
get to
the
a
first
point
to
where
go.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like, if you are providing them, if your service is providing them with that additional return on investment, month after month, they can't afford to cut you. And if they can cut you, then that means you're probably not.
Yep.
Which is why I've kind of started making a little bit of a shift in my business, which is maybe something we can get into a little bit, but you do kind of need to position yourself as that necessity, because to a degree you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is too, like what I usually try to tell people is, and I just joined a BNI group, so I'm trying to get more connected in the area that I'm in now. I am living in the Worcester area. I started my business in Western Mass, so a lot of my clients are still out that way, and I'm trying to build a network here. And you would think it would be easier to transition because it's not that far. It's like an hour.
Well,
But
here's
it's
the same
really
problem.
hard.
I was just going to say, I have
It's
the same
so
exact
hard.
problem.
So what I try to tell people is like, yeah, business might be booming right now, but it's not going to be that busy forever. There are going to be slow times. So wouldn't you rather be the plumber that stands out, that has high quality content, that is putting out ads, so that when people are really falling on financial
mind.
times and they're not, they're going to have to choose between multiple companies, you could throw a rock and find 5 plumbers in the area. So how are you going to stand out?
Yeah. It's kind of about like making your offer a no-brainer,
Which is hard because I'm not a salesy person at all.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is kind of like, if you can provide, basically if what you're offering is a no-brainer, the sales part of it isn't even, you don't have to think about it as much. It just doesn't sell itself, but you can be a lot more confident in those conversations, Whereas if you're just like, I'm like making pretty stuff, like my content looks really good. But if it's not like doing something, then it's kind of like it's a harder sell, in my opinion.
For
So
sure.
everyone says that though, like, to make your offer basically impossible to say no to, using what you know now, giving away as many or as little secrets as you feel comfortable. Tangibly though, how can people actually make their offer a no-brainer?
So,
Because it's easier said than done.
it's way
yeah.
easier said than
Yeah.
done. In a lot of scenarios, generally, I'll say it's being a little bit more full service. So maybe I'll backtrack a little bit to kind of ease into this for a second. So recently, by recently, I mean within the last year, I started shifting the focus of my business more to travel, creating content in the travel and hospitality world, because I discovered that's like just what I enjoy doing the most, similar to how Nick shifted to doing more product stuff. And before that, I was working in real estate, working all of these other random industries, and still kind of am, but focusing more on travel hospitality. So when I was kind of getting into that, it's a pretty saturated industry because it's attractive. Everybody kind of wants to do it. So you kind of need to figure out how to stand out in that realm. And so I didn't really know how to do it myself. So what I did was I kind of came across a mentor who was in the travel hospitality content industry, and started learning from him and what he was doing. And a lot of things he preaches is just really emphasizing results and strategy and how you can get results for your clients with your content. And a lot of people will think of that as just like, oh, well, I need to just create this high, like crazy volume of content, and I have to be running the social media, and I have to be running the ads, and I have to be doing everything, which is not necessarily true. You can still be full service without doing those things. Like, I'm never going to post on somebody else's Instagram account. It's just not my specialty. I'm not a community manager. That's for somebody else to do. And I'm also not a media buyer, but I know the principles of like what makes a good ad and how you can kind of like reach more people. So if your offer is creating content with that purpose, then it's going to be a little bit more irresistible. And the other thing is too, is something that has been stressed to me is showing the case studies and proof of concepts so that it does become a little bit of that no-brainer. And that's definitely necessary in the travel hospitality industry, because the first objection you're going to get is like, hey, why don't you just come here for a free stay? Which is like, you can, travel the world on free stays and get some really cool opportunities and capture some really awesome content. But at the end of the day, your wallet is like empty.
Yeah.
You can't pay your rent. You can't pay your bills. And unless you're living out of a van, like then it doesn't work.
Right.
There's no consistency to that. So you kind of have to beat out that first line of just influencers who are really eager to get that free stay and can shoot awesome content. You just have to provide a more tangible result to that business. Does that answer like the first part of your question?
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
would
we
say
can go
so.
a lot deeper into
Yeah.
this, but
No, I was going to ask you like about influencers, because I know it is really popular for them to, like, restaurants to say, come in and create us a video and collab with us. Like, I see it all the time that you can go and get a free stay. I follow several on TikTok where I'm like, I follow them so that I can check out hotels and places that I want to go travel to. So like, have you found that is something that you're coming across in your business? Like, are you seeing those influencers in the market that you're in?
yeah, definitely. So, and so, like I said, it's a sales objection, and part of the sales process is to help your client kind of like overcome those objections. So, basically the way it would come up in a discovery call is like, hey, like, we can just get an influencer to stay for free and make us a pretty video, and it's going to get a lot of views and it's going to reach a lot of people because that's their audience. And I'm like, you're right. It will get a lot of views. It will reach a lot of people. But what happens after that? It's like, oh, well, if they're just making like one video and, it'll get a lot of views. Maybe some people will come into the hotel, but how do we get people to come back? And so a lot of what happens with working with those influencers is you're not building a relationship with them, and it's a lot of just like one-off stuff. And if your whole marketing strategy is relying on other people, you don't own anything yourself. So it's still nice to actually work with influencers and every now and then and get that kind of like exposure to other audiences that aren't your own. But it's not really good to lean on. So that kind of like makes what we're offering a lot more attractive, because, we can also just try to do one-off shoots here and there, but a lot of the value comes from creating a long-term consistent partnership, which is pretty much the only thing I'm trying to push now. It's like there's certain levels, collections of content that you can just do once, and maybe it's like a once every 2 to 3 years thing. But really the key is pushing those content retainers, that sort of thing. Yeah.
That's interesting that people will literally say on the phone call, like, we can get an influencer. What makes you special? That's so crazy. And I think...
Well, they won't say it exactly like that, but it
but
will be
still,
phrased similarly.
Okay. That's so crazy. And I think one of the things that surprises me about a lot of the places that I'll go in, like a bigger city, like I was just in Newport last weekend, like... There are so many restaurants, and I'll go to their Instagram, like big restaurants that do huge business all the time, and it's all either UGC or iPhone. But I think the ones that I've seen that do the best are the ones that have like that combination of, okay, yes, they're having an influencer come in once in a while, but they also have the professional stuff. Like, it's a balance.
Yeah. So this kind of like dips into kind of like the actual, I guess I'll call it a strategy that I employ, which is not like, I definitely can't trademark it because it's, something that I've learned, but there's your content fits into different pillars in like a buyer's journey. Everybody has heard that everybody needs like 7 touch points or something before you make a buying decision.
Yep.
And so with hotels, luxury hotels, specifically the ones that I'm targeting, you're definitely not going to book like a $700, $1,000 a night property after seeing one ad. Like that's just not going to happen. So you need to reappear consistently to people in that buyer funnel.
Mm-hmm.
So in the hotel, hospitality, travel world, or the funnel, we'll talk about the content funnel for a second. Basically, you need to make people aware that you exist. Then you need to kind of like nurture them on why you're the best option. And then you need to essentially turn that nurtured relationship into a sale. That's kind of like the general business buyer journey funnel. And so how it works with content is you need to create a large amount of awareness at the top of the funnel. And you need to take those now aware people and educate them on why your hotel or, you know, whatever thing you're creating content for, why that thing is the best option in that area. And then you need to create a call to action with content at the bottom of the funnel. And as this funnel goes down, the views per se on content is getting less and less, but it's more purposeful because you're kind of tapering it down.
Okay.
So going even deeper in hotels and hospitality, you also need to make people aware of the destination. So that's kind of like the first thing you need to do, because there's a whole group of people who are like, I want to plan a vacation, but I don't know to where. So you need to make them aware of the actual place that, you know, you're serving. So if the hotel's in Newport, you got to make them aware of Newport and, you know, why you should actually travel there. So things going on, things to see, stuff like that. That's kind of like your top of funnel stuff. And you can kind of like trickle in your property as positioning into that. So a lot of influencers are making top of funnel content, but that's where it stops. They're only making kind of like, here are the 5 best restaurants I tried in Boston this weekend or something like that. And as a hotel, you can make that stuff too. You can become your own influencer. So that's how we're kind of like generating like a mass amount of appeal. But we need to keep those people in the funnel. So there's a few different ways you can do that. One is you need to kind of like highlight your amenities and why your stay is better compared to the ones down the street. So maybe for you, if you're a hotel that has a spa, you got to highlight your spa experience. I'm working with a hotel that has an experience where they basically will set up your chairs, your cooler, your umbrella at the beach. They will drive you out there and all you have to do is go sit down and relax. So there's things like that, experiences. Basically those things that set you apart from the other places. Maybe it's your restaurant, your bar, those sorts of things. And, you know, some of that will be getting like a decent amount of views too, but it's not viral style stuff. Some of it is photos and carousels and things like that. Then when you come to the bottom of the funnel, there's a few different types of content that can fit within that as well. So like if you're a hotel and you have a, you know, date specific 20% off offer or something like that, that's going to get people to create urgency to actually physically book. There's also like if you're a hotel that has like events and stuff, so like concerts, comedy shows, things like that, that's also like date specific that you can do from social media. The other kind of conversion based content is the stuff that happens off of social media. So where people are actually making the booking. So, you know, they could get to your website and if you have really crappy room photos, they're going to leave. They're not going to book. But if you have really nice room photos, you make the rooms look really good, there's a higher chance you're going to convert. For hotels as well, something that I basically do every time now is web banner video. That's like huge for it. Well, it's not the first impression at this point because they've gotten to your website, but it's huge for, just keeping that impression high. And you're still like sprinkling in things like the amenities and stuff like that, where it's like, this is where I need to stay when I go to Newport. That's kind of like the strategy that we're kind of employing for some of these consistent things. And, you know, some of it is you only need to do room photos once. You only need to do a web banner video once. But the rest of that funnel, your attention getting content, you need to do that stuff every month. You don't need to shoot every month, but you need to be putting it out every month, and you need to be constantly reaching new people and bringing them through that funnel. So by the time by the time that you hit them with a 20% off offer, by the time that you have their email and stuff like that, they're ready to buy, and it makes it a lot easier. But you can apply that funnel to anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply it to products. You can apply it to service-based businesses, things like that. It's the buyer funnel, essentially. There's probably a proper name for it, and somebody's probably like trademarked it, but
no, that makes sense.
That principle applies to any form of business.
Yeah.
And if you create content to feed all of those points in the funnel, like if you're just feeding one point, that's like less valuable than feeding all of the points. And if you're a business creating the content, you can't just create viral stuff. You can't just create 20% off ads because like none of those things are going to work. You have to have
all of them,
the full thing.
No, that makes sense. And I feel like most of the restaurants, hotels, etc. out there are just doing that top of funnel stuff, right? Like a lot of the stuff
or they're
that
just
I see,
posting, if you're a restaurant, they're just posting food chats
right,
with nothing else.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And what do you say to people who you reach out to who might be like, well, we don't need that, we're very busy already? What would your argument be?
I mean, if they're truly very busy, well, I guess if they're on a discovery call with you and they're like, we don't need it, then it's like, okay, if you don't need it, why did you show up today, sort of thing? Then you can reveal the real problem. Oh, we don't have enough budget. Oh, okay. So that's the real problem. It's like, you think it's going to cost too much, sort of thing. I mean, it's kind of like saying, it's like, well, do you want more money or do you want to stay the same? And some people are fine staying the same. And then if they're fine staying the same, then they're probably not the right client for you.
Right.
They're like, no, we're chilling. Cool.
Right.
Like, great. Congrats.
Yeah.
But if there is an area that you can help in, then you want to try to reveal that. Part of it in the sales process is really like figuring out what their actual problem is. And so a lot of brands will just say like, oh, we're not consistent on social media. And so like, that's one thing. It's like, all right, well, why do you want to be consistent on social media? It's like, oh, we think we can get like more business from it. And like, that's the real problem.
Right.
It's
okay.
For hotels, it's kind of like, oh, well, we're not fully booked out. Like our occupancy is not where we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem for them too is like they're probably spending too much on each. Maybe they're fully booked out, but they are spending too much because they're getting all of their bookings from Expedia or booking.com where they take 20% off of everything. So they're basically like losing 20% out of the gate every time. Whereas it's kind of like, why don't we get more people to book direct instead?
I've always wondered about that, about hotels, because I've booked hotels through Expedia and stuff like that.
Expedia.
Yeah. So I've always wondered like how that works.
Yeah, because you're also like, as a content producer, you're also sort of competing with other realms of marketing. You should be doing like a little bit of everything, but you're technically competing with Expedia if you're a hotel content creator. And you have to kind of position yourself as to why you're a better option than that. And you can literally like calculate it and you can show them and be like, hey, if we bring in like this many bookings per month through content alone, you're actually saving this much compared to what like you're spending.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Okay, so top of funnel stuff. What type of content do you make that's top of funnel that competes / replaces the UGC stuff? And would you ever offer creating UGC stuff for some random client as that top of funnel portion?
Yeah. So, I mean, UGC is great for the top of funnel piece because it's very relatable, but you can still create top of funnel content with pro level stuff. For me, it's actually more in the text hook. So I'm sure on Reels, like if you're stopping, you're not stopping on a random montage. You have a limited amount of time to keep somebody on your video. So the best way to do that is a quick text hook on screen to get them to watch. So top of funnel stuff for hotels, a lot of the time, it can be list stuff, like list content. Here's the top 5 things to do in insert area. It can be something that's shareable. So I'm trying, something I saw recently, like an example was, I'm not sure what the question was, but I'm sure the answer is like a spicy watermelon margarita. And it was literally just a clip from the hotel's bar, something like that. So there's little kind of like trends you can follow, things like that. Get people a reason to stay on the video, watch time. Give people a reason to maybe comment. Give people a reason to share it with their significant other. So something I'm actually going to try for an upcoming shoot is like shooting like an ad how I probably normally would have shot something that would end up just being a montage, but adding the text hook of like, I surprised my wife with this luxury beach experience sort of thing. And then all of the wives are sharing that to their significant others. And that just feeds the algorithm, gets more views, things like that. So stuff that people are going to stick around and watch, stuff that people are going to share with somebody else, stuff that people are going to save for later. If it fits into something like that, then it can work at any point in the funnel, but definitely for the top of funnel, you really need to maximize for that stuff. So basically anything with a text hook, you can do it with UGC iPhone stuff. You can do it with professional stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could be open to doing UGC. I think people just part of why people hire me is some of that quality. So if they just want the look to be a little bit more professional, but still have the same strategy, then it works.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. That makes sense. So interesting. So when you're going to these hotels, you're not just shooting on location at the hotel. You're like going around to the area and getting some stuff.
I mean, for past shoots, it's been a little bit more on property at the hotel, but I'm kind of also like in the process of pushing them towards doing more of that locational stuff. So I actually shot a hotel in Newport recently, and we went out on a sailing experience. But while we were on the sailing experience, we were capturing some things from the boat that are like Newport landmarks. So, and yeah, we like, while we were at the hotel too, we like took a stroll down to like the main area in Newport and captured like all of that vibe. Like, yeah, not even at the property as well. Yeah, so that stuff's really good for top of funnel.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Another
Definitely.
format that's really good is like if you're a hotel in like a place that people probably wouldn't think of going. So for example, I was pitching this hotel in Daytona Beach. Before people are considering Daytona Beach, they're considering Miami or one of those other hotspots, Palm Beach, things like that. So one of the other kind of like text hooks that I've seen, it's pretty timeless. It's kind of like, this isn't Miami. This isn't Palm Beach. This is Daytona. And it's like really beautiful shots of the area.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like another format that works too.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
I've seen those a lot.
Yeah. It is interesting. I was going to ask.
You've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
They work.
Yeah. As
It's
you're
like the
talking.
most random ass place. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is like nowhere, Illinois, but it like looks like a really cool place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, as you were talking about the funnel stuff, I was thinking about trends and how trends play into like the professional content that we create, because when we might think of a trend, we think TikTok, we think Instagram, like Reels, you know? So it does have a place in professional content. And I think one of my recent shoots we did together, Shaker Bowl, I pulled some inspiration from like one of the bigger bowling alleys near Boston, and they ran some ads. I like just saw their Instagram page and now I'm getting all of their ads. But you know, they had some really cool text hooks that I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like POV, you rent a lane for family
POV
night.
is such a classic one.
Yeah. But you want ones that are like kind of timeless in that way.
Yeah, because what is that going to do? It's like you're going to share that with your
Families,
friends,
yeah.
family or friends. Like, we need to go bowling.
Yes.
Where are you going to go? Probably the place that
That you saw.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool that, you know, I think we were talking about it when we were at the shoot. You know, we don't always think of bowling as an activity to do with your group of friends.
Yeah, bowling is one of those weird activities that like a lot of people admit that they like doing, but it's not an activity that you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's not top of mind.
Yeah.
So like making those little videos, those reels, and as we were filming it, I was keeping that in mind of like getting all sorts of different age groups. Like There was an elder
Those
league,
old ladies,
the
yeah.
old
Yeah.
people. Oh my God, I was crying. But I was like, that's fun. And there's obviously the families. And then we had like young people, like,
Yeah.
you know, teens, 20s. Like this is an activity that anyone can do. Anyone can go have fun, grab a couple beers, like whatever.
And the best part is like you can since you kind of have to do this at a little bit of a high volume so that you are reaching as many people as possible. But, you know, you can only shoot so much at one time. But the great thing is with social media is like you have a lot of resiliency to reuse that content.
Yeah.
You know, then eventually you probably want to capture some new stuff as well. But like for me, I probably only need to visit a hotel once a quarter, probably do like a 2-day shoot. And then I have plenty of content to roll out on a monthly basis for them.
Well, and that works with seasons too, right? Because in
Yep,
New England,
exactly.
like you want to get
Seasons.
seasonal stuff too. And a lot of, I think, seasonal businesses, like you said, the sailing charter, you're capturing a bulk of the content during those nicer months, but that doesn't mean they should stop posting during the winter. Like you need to stay top of mind.
No, yeah. And yeah, that's like a Texark opportunity there as well. It's like, here's 5 things you can do in the winter in Newport. Here's 5 restaurants you should try that are open in the winter in Newport. And the 5th restaurant maybe is like the one at the hotel.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep. That's crazy.
Lots of opportunities for content. And yeah, like definitely people should not be afraid to reuse stuff. Cause like, yeah, you can, even photo wise too, it's like you can post something in the 3rd slide of a carousel. People aren't going to remember that it was there. You as the business owner will remember and you as the content creator will remember too, but other people are not thinking about that. It's just not important to them. So you can repurpose that into something else as well.
Yep.
I mean, you like, if you're posting the exact same thing twice, maybe that's one thing. I mean, you can post the exact same thing twice if you're using like trial reels and getting into that, but that's a whole other
Or like
bag of
A/B
worms.
testing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're going to these shoots with a hotel, say you're doing like a quarterly thing, how much content are you delivering to
Yeah, I
them?
was literally about to ask because you touched on like
Yeah.
great minds. You touched
Yeah.
on needing a good amount of content.
Yeah.
So we literally, this was the topic last week of the group call of my mentorship program. Everybody's like, how the heck do you possibly do it? Because a lot of currently what I'm delivering to a lot of my clients is like this library of polished video clips, which they can then turn into those things. However, it's kind of like, I want to be a little bit more full service than that because, you know, I think I can provide a better, more enticing end product than some of those other things. Like they might combine my stuff with iPhone stuff. And then it's like, so let's just say we're pushing out like 15 videos a month. That's that's a lot. That's an aggressive strategy. 4 reels a month is not going to work. 8 reels, you know, you might get some traction there, but it's like, if you really want to guarantee success, it's like posting a reel every other day is pretty fast way to success. But yeah, you can't, if you're going into a quarterly shoot, that's 45 videos for a quarter. You're not going to shot list and pre-produce 45 videos because frankly, it's impossible.
Right.
And if you shot listed every video, you'd probably do like 4 videos in a day.
So true.
Maximum.
Yeah.
And that's if you still are moving quickly, things like that.
And these aren't elaborate long videos either. They're short.
No, yeah, they're like 7 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But still, even if you did that, it would be impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is kind of like go in with a baseline of like, all right, well, here are a few, like maybe 3 like exact ideas we might want to replicate. If you're shooting dedicated ads, then obviously you're going to want to storyboard the ads. If you're shooting kind of like a web banner video, you're going to want to probably shot list that out as well.
But talking just generic social media content.
Yeah,
how
but
do
what
you go
I'm
about
also
it?
kind of like pushing people to do with ads now is take your best organic post and then turn that into an ad because it's proven to work.
Yes.
So instead of just kind of like putting something out there that like oh,
boost
maybe it
it,
would
yeah.
work, it's taking the organic stuff, the stuff that works, and then re-implementing it. But basically, you come in with 3 rough ideas, maybe some other trends on the horizon, and the content that you're capturing is very general, can be used in a lot of different cases. Maybe there's a few other things here and there. A lot of that is kind of like specifically when you're shooting, a lot of that is actually getting a little wider. Cause I know like I love a good detail shot, but it's kind of like detail shots don't really sell the place as well. Instead of showing a detail shot of a cocktail, you'd probably rather show a packed like bar.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a little bit more general with it, making sure you're capturing like a few really good like hero shots and then just a little bit of B-roll here and there. So you can still shoot the cocktail detail shot, but you're not going to create a post that's just that.
Yep.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, going in with that stuff in mind. And then if it's seasonal, you're probably in an ideal scenario, you'd want to shoot like a season ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm actually leaving for a shoot tomorrow, and we're shooting some stuff that can be used in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be fall foliage, obviously, but they do like a fire pit type thing. And so there's that. Like I did a shoot a couple weeks ago where we did like a s'mores campfire type thing.
That's
and
fun.
they wore sweaters. It was 90 degrees, but they wore sweaters. So you're preparing
I
that
love
stuff.
that. That's so awesome.
Probably going to want to do that for holiday stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you go into every shoot with a few general hero shots you want to get. Also what they're looking to promote for their upcoming offerings, and it might not be super seasonal. So Nick helped me on a shoot recently where they were doing this push for like yoga outside the hotel. And so like we obviously shot that stuff, but it was less like specific shots and more just kind of like general scenes. So it's like, hey, we need to capture this yoga on the lawn. We also need to capture the vibe of the tavern area filled out. So it's a little bit more general. And then like the locational content, it's kind of like, oh, we want to capture like all these shops downtown, and you can get a few specific shots in there. But again, you're not shot listing out every single thing. You just have the general stuff that you know you can implement into that. And so what I'm going to be doing is essentially doing quarterly shoots on a monthly retainer because I'm going to be delivering content monthly.
Okay.
So it's almost like an editing retainer, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And then just
yeah.
building in your shoot costs into that picture. But that's how I'm going to be structuring it. Right now it's a little different because I was still kind of like ironing out some kinks, but.
And is it going to be 15 videos a month? Like the aggressive
more or
strategy?
less, probably. Yeah. And again, like if you're doing 7 to 15 second videos, some people will like see that as like less work. They'll be like, it's a 7-second video. Like, why are you? I actually had a client tell me that recently. Like he came up with a concept and he was like, hey, I was thinking this could be like 45 seconds. And I was like, this is actually more of like a 15-second concept. He's like, oh, well, why am I paying like this much money for it? And I'm like, you're not paying for the length of time of the video.
Right.
You're paying for the result that it gets you.
Yeah. And the amount of time it takes to shoot the whole day,
Yeah.
the setup of all of it, the process.
We ended up compromising at 30 seconds, but
I feel like that's the
'Cause, yeah, like,
longest you should
I
go
do
for
the
those
stuff
kinds
that's
of
like
videos.
10 to 15 seconds.
yeah, it was
and
too,
it's like,
but
that could be like 2-3 clips.
I
Like,
used to
it's
tell
really
people
not
for
that hard,
reels
but
30 to 60 seconds. I've dropped it down to 15 to 30 because it's just too long. No one watches that shit unless it's like so engaging.
Well, you can make a longer video too if it's worth watching for that long.
Yes.
It's all about the perspective. So it goes back to that kind of like you're paying for the result sort of thing. And so you really have to, if you're taking this sales process, you really have to emphasize that. It's like, here's what you're getting from
it's like
it.
you're not even paying for the quality. You're not paying for the quantity. You're really just paying for the result.
Yeah.
Because if they book one
that
person
too.
from that, it probably pays for 1 or 2 people, pays for the whole cost of the shoot probably.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right?
Exactly. And I mean, you're still for me specifically, like quality is still part of the way I'm pitching it, but it's not the
only
that's
thing.
not the separator, because there are plenty of people who are better than me at using a camera and they have better gear and they shoot better looking stuff. Like I'm going into these with a 24-70 because I'm trying to capture a high volume of stuff very quickly. And there's some people who could shoot way better stuff on primes, but it's probably taking them a half day for this one video.
Right.
And then, the client doesn't get much out of that. And so you are still pushing the quantity a little bit too, because you're kind of like, hey, like these lower levels of content, unless you have something else in the works, if this is your only content supply, it's not going to work. And I know that's something you've talked about before, Nick, is like, some clients, maybe in different industries, they don't need you for that full content supply, but you can charge more when you are that full content supply. And so that's kind of like where I've been going, make myself a little bit of a no-brainer, is like you can charge more. And even though you are producing a higher quantity of stuff, you're taking on less clients and, not technically working less, but like it scales a little bit differently that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal. Like less number of clients, higher paying.
I could be producing the same number of videos on paper, but if I'm doing it for less clients versus more clients, it's a lot less mental strain and a lot less physical strain.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
And the same or more value.
Yeah. And you're going to get better client case studies too, which you can use to build further from there.
Yep.
So that's kind of like why I've taken this approach.
No, it makes total sense. I think maybe it's more of like not older generation, but like kind of that generation of the fact that they look at a video and they see you pitch them 7 to 15 second reels and they're like, that's it. Like that's so short. They think longer equals better, but it's not the case anymore.
Well, and depending on your industry too, long form content, long form content's not gone.
No,
that could still be part of your thing. So like, for example, your education pillar could be your long form content. Maybe you're getting top of funnel from the short form because it's right now, the way it's structured is more people are scrolling versus anything. So you can get a lot more eyeballs that way, but you can filter them to your long form content where you're nurturing and educating and spending more time with those people. So if you're somebody like in the real estate realm, long form content is huge because you can get a lot of face time with those clients before you're actually in front of them. And they get to learn you and how you work and things like that. Anybody in the education industry, if you're like teaching something, you should be making long form content 100% and offering free value up front. And then filtering them to probably your landing page where you've got a landing page video and that's your conversion content. And but you've got these short form ads at the top of the funnel, which I'm sure we've all seen of all these filmmaker course creators.
I hate it.
They have all those top of funnel ads. They have educational content on YouTube, and then you get to their landing page and they have a value video on their landing page, and it works.
Yep, they've gotten me.
And I think the cool thing about like creating content for the funnel is it's like it probably won't always be 7 to 15 second reels, but if you're creating with the funnel in mind, that part's pretty timeless.
Yep.
It's like the trends aren't always going to be the same. But
definitely.
The way consumer habits are, largely transmittable.
Yeah, definitely. That's so
So when you go into a shoot, do you plan with the client, like how many are going, like, do you dictate how many are going to be for like ads versus organic social media? Do you help them run meta ads?
So I don't personally help them run meta ads because that's like just something I'm not super familiar with. Like I know the principles of what makes a good ad and how you can, kind of increase your ad spend. Cause part of the thing is too, some of these hotels are spending so much money on ads. And so they are getting bookings from their ads. And it's the same thing as the Expedias.
Yeah.
So the way I'm probably going to right now, I'm shooting for dedicated ads because that's just like the current packages I'm on. But the ones I'm going to be transitioning into is probably there's going to be like an allocation of the amount that we can turn into ads. And there might be like something that sweetens the deal where we can do a split test version. So maybe something worked really well organically. Cool. We're going to take that exact video and we're going to run it through meta ads, which I think if it worked on Instagram, I think all you need to do is just like not boost the posts. I think you can like go into Meta Business Suite and like just take that post and be like, we're going to use this content as our quote creative. And then what we can do is like, hey, I want to see if we can get this to be even more effective. Let me switch out the text hook and here's another version we can put out. So that's probably going to be something I offer as well as like an A/B split test, probably just 2 versions to make it simple. Mm-hmm. And then whichever one wins is the one you keep going.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going into the shoot with knowing how many ads we're running in the quarter, probably.
How many is it usually? Like 4?
Probably depends. I think even like 2 or 3, honestly.
Throughout the whole quarter?
It definitely depends per client, because it's some of them you might be running like a event specific thing, like something that's timely, which you might also be shooting dedicated content for. So that's like a different thing. Yeah, it really depends. Kind of 3, 4. You don't really need to
aside from
do
the
too
timely
many.
stuff. Do you typically only just run one at a time? If it's like a generic ad?
Not really. So there's different types of ads. So what a lot of hotels make the mistake of doing is running the 20% off offer to completely cold audiences. So people who have never heard of their hotel. So what they'll do is they'll probably like filter it by interests and things like that. Maybe geographical area if it's like if they're offering like an in-state discount or something like that. But those people haven't necessarily interacted with you before. They're not likely to bite, even on a 20% off offer, which is nice. So there are retargeting ads, which are designed at just re-engaging people who have already visited your page. There are top of funnel ads, but the way you can get the most success out of them is you take one of your best performing attention videos and you look at, hey, like how many follows were generated from this reel? And if that's like your best one from the month or the quarter or whatever the term is, you turn that into a follow ad where the call to action is just to follow the page. It's not to book a stay yet. It's just to follow along because we need to keep people in the funnel.
Yep.
So there's that kind of like top of funnel type of ad. There's probably like a retargeting ad, which is maybe educational nurture. And you can bring them to your call to action there could be book a stay or just bring them to the website. Because you could theoretically get them to book from, that post about the spa. But the great thing is that is already it's retargeted at people who have interacted with the page. So before cameras were rolling, we were talking about one of Nick's clients. He invited them as a collaborator on one of his posts, and now I get served their ads because I liked the post and I fell into that category as somebody to be like retargeted.
Yeah, so that means that they're doing something right because,
those are more effective because it's a warm audience.
Yep. Makes sense.
And then, there's the conversion-based ads that it's like if there is a 20% off offer or there's a 4th of July offer or there's some event coming up that you're trying to get people to book for, then you can just run that as an ad. And again, retarget it to the people who have already interacted with you. So it's not completely cold audience. You're going to get a lot higher of a what's called click-through rate off of that.
Yep.
And your cost per result goes down. Because, usually with meta ads, the only thing they say you can optimize for sales, but then you got to get the only way you can track it is you get the meta pixel, Facebook pixel. But that's like a whole thing.
It's hard. The ads thing is like mind boggling to me.
Yeah. But I would imagine you're probably running one of each of the, like a one funnel point ad every quarter. If something's really working well, you don't even need to change it out. The only thing, the things you're always going to change out are the conversion pieces, like the date specific, event specific thing. And then the other things, like they might just work really well over and over again and you don't need to change it.
We love when that happens.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the way you build that into your package too is kind of like you're almost selling it as a license because you're creating content organically first. And then unless you're editing something specific to ads, then you just kind of like, it's easy as another deliverable. But if you're turning something organic into an ad, you're selling that as a license technically. Mm-hmm. And then unless you're like doing the split test thing, does that answer
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to switch gears? Talk about weddings?
Sure.
Can we talk about weddings? So how many weddings do you have this year? How is the season going? Like, how are we feeling? I know it's like probably midway, maybe not even quite
Not
midway.
even
No.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
we're
I feel
very
like we just started still.
we're very backloaded. So we're like halfway through the season technically, and because in New England it starts in, March, April, May, ends
March, damn.
Well, for some people,
Yeah.
then it ends in like latest November.
I have a December wedding this year. I'm psyched. New Year's Eve. I'm pumped.
If I got an inquiry for New Year's Eve, I'm turning it down.
Oh, I'm so psyched. I hope there's fireworks and champagne. Oh, I'm so excited. I think it's gonna be so fun. It's for it's a lead from a wedding I shot last year. My friend's like cousin. So like I kind of know them. Like I've met them before. I hadn't seen them in years, so it was like really good to see them. But yeah, they're getting married on Long Island in December on New Year's Eve, and I'm so excited.
Where in Long Island?
The Gadsby on the ocean. I forget exactly where it is.
I was gonna say because the hotel I shoot in Long Island is a wedding venue as well. I was like,
Oh, really?
That'd be ironic.
That'd be so funny. Yeah, I'm actually psyched for it. I've been wanting to shoot a winter wedding. I don't feel like that's not.
I feel like that's not gonna be winter.
Technically it's winter, but
I need
I feel
snow.
like January through. Yeah. Well, you could have snow.
Yeah, I feel like it'll just be a lot of dead twigs and stuff.
Probably.
And, like,
But it's gonna be like mostly
you get
inside.
cool like fairy lights and stuff. Though.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
But what, we've done 3, right?
We've done. It's so funny because I'm like I didn't forget about weddings. If any of my couples are listening, but it wasn't the.
We
focus
are
right
in
now
like a
'cause
very
it's, like,
long break right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have July.
I have
off,
like an awkward
essentially.
break. Yeah. I'm glad because July weddings are so hot.
Yeah. We had one our first one was May
So good.
31st.
It was like, I told
It
you
was
about
so
it. Like,
late.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yes, the
The
first
best.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I feel the cool thing is like all of the weddings we have this year are like pretty intentional, pretty like great vibe with the people. We limit ourselves to between 10 and 15 weddings per year because our main focus is the commercial side of our businesses. That's what we've both decided has worked well for us. And we're like, hey, we'd love to still shoot weddings. We'd love to make sure each one is really good and also make sure, the couples are getting the best result they can. Because if we shoot a high volume of weddings, we're just churning them out.
Yep.
So we only ended up booking 9 for this year, which is fine because, it's proportional to the amount of marketing we're probably doing and, the amount of referrals that we're getting from previous years. But I feel like even if we were to add another one on, it would be a lot.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what we have right now.
Yep.
But like all of them are like in September. We have one in August. That's going to be our 4th. And then I think we have 4 more in September and then 1 more in October. Or there might be 3 in September and 2 in
yes,
October.
that's going to be rough. Like editing wise, because they're all going to be due at the
They're all
same
going to be
time.
stacked together.
Yeah.
Which I have to crawl out of my editing hole before we get to that point.
Yes.
Currently in a major backlog
deep,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not good.
I have not finished the first one still.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. I've been notoriously like, I edit a teaser reel after each wedding. I try to deliver it within 24 hours, but 48. Because I always feel
we do
like
that.
with weddings, photographers trying to keep up with them. I know so many photographers that will send like 50 sneak peek photos the next day. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
but
need to
photographers
They're
compete.
just
way
copy and
easier.
pasting settings.
I
They have
know.
AI do it overnight.
I know. But still,
Sorry,
like, I
photographers.
They're
don't.
editing at dinner.
Yeah, I know.
Like I see them take their iPad out and they start
see that
editing.
too,
I'm like, dude,
especially if they have a second.
relax.
But I also, part of me feels like they shouldn't have to wait like 2 or 3 months to see any clips. So I like just try to put a couple clips
yeah.
together for them. I think it's fun and it's a good surprise.
Well, I've taken on a new mindset too when it comes to wedding editing. I'm like totally cool with it taking a long time. Well, at least me. Maybe my couples feel differently, but
I'm sure they do.
Well, what we've done too is like send literally just a few clips.
Yeah.
The next day, if we can.
Yeah.
It's not something we
We
promise.
don't
Yeah,
guarantee it.
I don't either.
We don't
We do
even
it
tell them
as,
it's a thing.
I
almost
say
as a
we,
nice
me.
surprise.
Yeah.
If they have a social media teaser in their package, we try to be quicker with that as well.
Yes.
Hold them over. But I mean, I've started to believe more now, and maybe it's just me being lazy, but like the memory freshness, like your freshness of the memories, you know, will start to lay off over time. And if you get your wedding film back like longer after the fact, I feel like you'll be able to appreciate it more.
I never thought of it that way.
Some people will be like, no, I want it now. And it's like, there's definitely a happy medium. It's like 6 months. I know a lot of people who deliver 6 months after the fact. Like that feels like a little too long. Ours is about 3 months right now.
I say 3 too. Yeah.
And I think that feels pretty good because you can go on your honeymoon, you can come back, you can start life up again, and then you come back and you're like, oh shoot, I've got a wedding film in my inbox, and then you can sit down.
That's such
on
a
a
great
date night
point.
and enjoy it, and it's like a full experience.
I didn't even think about that. I
I
just
don't
had
know.
a wedding
Some of the
client.
couples might be like, no, give it to me now.
No, my wedding client from my wedding in June, I sent them a teaser video, and she texted me recently and was like, hey, like just, you know, checking in. I hope we got enough footage of the dress and blah, blah, blah. Because it was like kind of crunch time to do that. And I was like, I haven't even started.
Who needs footage of the dress? That's not important.
She was a wedding dress designer, so she needs footage of the dress.
Okay.
She needs footage of the dress. She
She
designed her own dress. Very unique situation. But I was like, yes, we got plenty. So excited to show you. But then my wedding client from 2 years ago, they just had their anniversary, and she texted me and she was like, we just watched our video again. I want to thank you so much. Like, we love having this memory, and it just warms my little heart. I was like, oh. That's so nice. Nobody
you've
ever
been
thinks to
pretty
say
good
that.
about posting like the teasers on people's anniversary.
Not this year.
Oh yeah, I really want to start doing that. I've seen that. It makes so much sense.
Everybody.
Okay.
I used to do it. I tried to.
You
but,
were good at it, and then I didn't do it either.
Well, no, honestly, like things have gotten away from us. And again, it wasn't something we promised, but I've here and there like commented on Instagram. Like we follow a lot of our couples still, and I'll see something and I'll be like, oh shoot, yeah, that was a year ago today. And I'll be like, hey, happy anniversary. This still, I try to stay relatively in contact because you never know where the next referral is.
Some other cousin down the road.
Yeah. I think I want to start putting the year after like in my calendar so that I can see it and it reminds me.
We did do that.
We did.
Okay.
It didn't happen this year.
Well, life gets busy. It's hard.
Yep. You can only have your hands in so many areas.
No, I get it. I get it. So do you guys share posting responsibility on the wedding page?
Well, so
Oh God.
here's how it works now.
Dude, I don't even know how it works.
This is why
right
we
now.
broke up in the first place. Is we tried to do
Spill the tea.
we tried to do 50% of everything, which is just
That's
it's a
horrible
recipe for
partnership
disaster.
It's
formula.
hard.
That does not work.
That's hard.
So we need to delegate more. So we've gotten better at wedding stuff. I still think we could probably do a little bit
I feel
better
like
at delegating.
I've dropped off. I am sorry.
But well, no, me too. Hey, we're both
I am
guilty
like,
here.
I've not done anything.
So our system right now is kind of like, I feel like on all of the discovery calls, I'm basically doing most of the talking, and Nick will chime in here and there.
It used to be the opposite though.
It used to be the opposite, but I don't know what happened.
I don't know
Just
either.
Switched. I think it made sense because now the lead's kind of like coming through my website, and I'm talking to them on email. So it's a
That's
familiar
probably
voice.
the natural
Okay, yeah.
formation of it.
Yeah.
I just
So
stopped.
he doesn't see the thing right away. But
right.
yeah, there's some other stuff to iron out there, which we'll talk about after. But
It's not exactly necessary. I mean, I still show up for all
Yeah.
the calls and stuff.
Yeah.
so
I'm the note taker.
Yeah,
okay.
a lot. He's the note taker. I never take notes. A lot of the back end things, the contract stuff, the finance stuff goes through me.
I take like the best notes. My notes are hilarious.
No, they're
sure.
great. I laugh at them every
I
time.
make
No way.
comments. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
Like, oh, he looks like so and so, or like, oh man, I like her already. If it's like there's some crazy stuff I say I
That's
can't
so
say on the
funny.
mic, but
Oh my God.
I was thinking about something else.
yeah, my notes are good.
some like Star Trek guy, but I think that was somebody from the actual wedding. It wasn't a note
Oh
thing.
Yeah.
my God.
But yeah, no, his notes are good. So he'll take the notes. We'll review them after the fact. I basically handle the email communication, the contracts, payment. And then when it comes down to social media responsibilities, we still have to share it a little bit because we have to share editing responsibilities right now just because of workload purposes.
Right.
It would be a lot to put it on one person.
Right.
So when we do that, like we're producing content from specific weddings, and it's easier to just like make 3 reels, put them in a folder. But what I have done is kind of just like had Nick take care of the scheduling of stuff. which I feel like we burned through our content library. We might have some stuff left.
I am almost
Last
through
time
mine,
I mean, again, it's been a while, but
Might have a handful
I
of
thought
things left.
everything was pretty much already scheduled.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nick will basically take that and schedule it. He doesn't like community managing as much on there, which because I see the notifications and I'll just like respond quicker.
Yeah.
So
Nick
realistically
even-
we should probably just like hand
We
off
talked
social
about
media
this.
completely.
When I tag him
We
in a
just talked
story or
about
something like a repost, he doesn't even repost it. He he doesn't even like the video.
Yeah, but
It's
I
so
promise that I will get better.
funny. It's so funny. I was roasting him the other day. It was
Like
so funny.
these reels and the ones we are going to post from an hour ago, I will share.
Yes. Okay.
Starting today.
You heard it first. You heard it here. We're holding him accountable to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about
That's
that last
so
week.
funny.
But yeah, so he'll do that. I'll kind of like manage the community, and then we basically share shooting and editing responsibilities. So like,
Okay.
one wedding, one of us will go.
I feel like I pick up the slack come actual wedding day. And anywhere
There's no slack.
Anywhere
There's
I
no
drop
slack.
off elsewhere, I feel like I make up for it on the wedding day. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm always like super. I
Yeah,
try and be
that's
as
what
involved as
matters, yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we've got a good system down, and it's a little bit more delegated. I think there are maybe there are areas where we can delegate more. I don't know off the top of my head now. I think we could.
There always are.
There always are, but
There's a lot to it.
It's worked out a lot better this way.
Yep. That makes sense. And since you've started the podcast, The Gimbal Guys, right?
Oh yeah, he takes care of that too.
Have
I don't
you-
touch that. I just show up.
Okay. Have you noticed, like, what's the response been from that? I know it's like kind of new, but
Honestly, it's been pretty slow, but it's not meant to like be viral per se. That's our educational content.
Yeah.
That's our middle
yes,
pillar. It's like
yes.
them getting to know us.
Yes, that's
And
what I
why
thought.
we're the most knowledgeable
That's
option.
what I thought.
Like our top of funnel stuff is probably like a first look behind the scenes or a funny dad speech, things like that. Stuff
Yeah.
that's going to get a lot more views, a lot more saves, a lot more shares.
Yes.
We had a clip do really well recently. We used to like do fake podcast setups, which if you're listening to this and didn't know those were fake podcast
yeah.
setups, like
What?
So like
We would rent a studio.
we'd have a topic and like we
Oh,
have
yeah,
scripts,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
lines, and we'd like sit holding these mics.
my
we would
God,
pretend
I'm
like we were in a
dead.
podcast.
That's so funny.
But we had one like do really well because it had more shares and saves than it had likes. It was about like a groom
Is it
having
the
two
white
shirts,
shirt? Okay, yeah.
two white
oh
shirts.
yeah.
And people are sending that to
Yeah.
their groom to be their friend. Their
Yes.
It's honestly a really good
fiancé.
tip.
It's such a good tip.
They're saving it for later, and it did
It's
really
such a
well.
good tip. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
But so the podcast can kind of work in that way. I don't know. I don't know much of the actual analytics on some of them. We've tried to implement some more, I guess, viral tactics by doing text hooks and things like that,
Yeah.
and just picking the right things here and there. But I
Yep.
think it's gone all right.
Yeah.
We just haven't recorded in a while.
In a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
If we played our cards right today, we should have recorded one while this setup was here. But whatever. We all got things to do.
Yeah. But I mean,
Cool.
we, like you said, we kind of we just alternate who, quote unquote, is the lead for the day. But
Yeah.
again, we don't.
We're co-leads. We're not.
Yeah.
There's no second shooter.
Basically, all that means is that's the person who's editing the video.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But
Yeah.
like,
And
we
that person
still
will
do
also be
same
the
stuff.
camera in the aisle. They'll be that gimbal person in the aisle, and
Yeah, but
I hate to
honestly,
use a stereotype, but in traditional senses, they'll go to the bride sort of thing.
Got
but
it, got
it's
it.
I
kinda
don't
like
care about
doesn't
that
really
though.
matter
Like,
as
if you
much.
ever want to just go somewhere else, I would do whatever.
Yeah.
So like, it works, but like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's just
have
been the
to be
trend
like
we
that.
follow because
Yeah.
it makes it more mindless. Like we don't have to decide every time.
Yeah.
You just be like, hey, I went to the bride suite last time. Can you go this time?
The only reason I would say we would like intentionally switch is like, if for some reason like
Oh,
you
yeah.
like
If I,
knew
like,
the
know
groom
somebody.
from
Yeah.
like something previously, it's like, oh, obviously, yeah, he'll go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
it's like, then I'll probably still end up editing that one because I have a little bit more of a personal connection.
Yes,
And
yes.
if I edited the last one, then he'll do 2 in a row. And
Okay.
so still do it that way.
So you still edit all your videos in house. You don't.
Yeah.
send them out.
We could, if we find like a really, really good like wedding editor, wedding editor.
Yeah.
I felt like I said that weird. Wedditor.
Wedditor. You could say that.
I think that's an actual company. So
that makes sense.
If we find somebody who's like really good for that, then we could filter all of the stuff through there. Then we have a consistent style. But it's just kind of like hard to do that right now because very personal.
Yeah, and it's
kind of
a
got to
lot.
be there in the process and know, like you could hand off something to an editor and maybe there was some like inside joke said at the speeches or something. The editor might not include that in the highlight film because they don't know.
Yeah,
but it's like you being there, like you understand.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is like I have an editor who I use part-time and he helps me out with like not just wedding stuff but other stuff. And when I'm sending him, whether it's a commercial project or a wedding, I send ridiculous notes because I want to make sure he understands, like, because obviously he wasn't there. Sometimes I'll even have him on one of the discovery calls with the couple or with the project to make sure he understands, like, this is what went down. Because it's hard when you're editing something and you weren't there. Like it's not an easy thing to do. And like you said, there might be some things that you saw during the day that they aren't going to think is significant, but is actually very significant. So if you are sending it out to someone, making sure you're sending them notes and having a call with them and going through all of that is very important to make sure that they don't miss out on something. Like I'm sending him the paperboard packaging council stuff, the videos, and I'm going to make sure, like I sent him a Loom recording of like, this person was very good in this topic for this video and this person, like, you know what I mean?
So part of me thinks that defeats the purpose.
Why?
I feel like the point in the ender is to save you time.
Right.
But you're still putting in so much time to make sure
but
he's
it's way
able
less
to edit.
time.
Okay.
Way less time than it would for editing. Yeah.
And it's probably, if you're writing, so I have a lot of experience outsourcing stuff now. And it's definitely a time saver. It's a lot in the beginning if you're kind of like onboarding an editor to a specific client, which is kind of what I had to do. A lot of the stuff I was creating wasn't as general, as formulaic, that sort of thing. So you have to give a lot of background. You have to make very detailed notes in your editing briefs. And, but once they start to learn the formats of that client, then you need to say less and less.
Yes.
All you need to do is just kind of like send the files off to them.
Yes.
And then they can figure out the rest.
Yeah.
It works.
But you're right. For one-offs, it's a lot of work put into it.
So you need
but
to
I
also
would rather,
build a relationship with the people you're outsourcing to
Yeah.
as well. You can't just kind of like find a random editor on Fiverr and just like make it work every time.
Yeah. But I would rather put in that work before to make sure that the end product comes out great, less re-edits, less touch-ups, things like that. I'd rather put in the work before and make sure he understands too, because I don't want to just like send him a bunch of files and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Good luck. Because that's hard.
Yeah.
It's a kind of the same thing with what you're doing with investing your money, or it's kind of like the way you're thinking about investing your money in the thing. It's like, oh, I'm investing money in this thing to get more in return. Same thing with time. You're still going to have to put some level of time into it, organizing all the files for them, maybe labeling stuff if they don't know. Like I've had to do that a lot.
I organize the folders.
But the time return you get on it is better. And I feel like that's probably the only way I've been able to take on as much as I have, which is still too much right now.
Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. We could try to find a good editor somewhere.
It's just the editing takes so much time.
I've said this for a while. He's the better wedding video editor than I am. So like, if anything, it's just to make mine better.
But it's just like you got to have the right emotional connection with them too. I mean, you like there's certain couples that you just like vibe with more, and then it's like if you vibe with them more, you will make a better.
I mean, like
product.
I will go try hard for our first ones.
Yeah.
You should go try hard for all of them technically.
Nick.
But I vibe with her so much. She was like my favorite person ever.
Yeah. It does help. It helps a lot.
Should try hard for all of them. Jeez, man.
I'll try a little harder.
I love that. Yeah, wedding videos it's an animal, that's for sure. Yeah, but I like doing it. I do.
Yeah.
Not you?
I like doing them too. It's just very I wish I could just do like 2.
I know.
Just like edit the ones I'm really passionate about, which I guess I'm saying the same thing that he said, but
no, it's true though. It makes such a difference. It really does. Like if you know the couple, it also adds pressure. Like I shot.
I don't think I would like it if I actually know them.
Oh, I think it's fun.
I just like it when I'm like able to instantly vibe with them.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time I'm meeting them in person.
Yeah.
So like if I can vibe with them within 10 hours of knowing them, that's when I know they're like my kind of person.
Yeah. I've had a couple where like I'm editing the videos and I'm like remembering the day and I'm like, are they gonna make it?
Oh yeah,
like,
we think that sometimes too.
Oh,
so far so good.
Worst.
Fingers crossed. So far so good.
Worst. Oh my
for
god.
our couples.
Yeah. So.
I think we have a way of connecting people. So
I think our couples are all at the stage of now they're like having their first kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so many of them.
Aw.
Everybody from our first year of weddings has a child. I'm pretty
God,
sure.
I don't know if any of my wedding couples are pregnant now that I think about it, because I think I follow them all. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, not every single one from our first year of weddings, I'm pretty sure has a kid.
Wow.
I made a whole spreadsheet about it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God. He's like, I'm going to message them.
Well, I made a whole
on their
spreadsheet
first
about our
birthday.
leads so I could decide whether Wedding Pro was worth it or not.
Oh,
Spoiler
don't get
alert,
me
it's
fucking
not.
started
No,
on
I'm not
Wedding
gonna
Pro.
say.
We both did full episodes on that.
Don't even get me started. I don't want to give them any
data.
freaking.
I have data.
Yeah, well, apparently there's a lot of data out there, but we won't get into that. What else?
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say? You want to ask? Things we didn't cover that you wanted to cover?
No, I talked a lot about my hospitality work. A little bit
I think
about
that was very
That was really
educational for
interesting,
the
yeah.
viewers, so that was good.
a little bit about
The funnel.
mentorship. I know you kind of wanted to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything you want to go further. Talked about weddings. Briefly touched on outsourcing editing wise, but
Oh,
I'm also kind of in a phase now where I'm working on building a little bit of a shooting team as well. So we
cool.
both have similar problems where most of our work comes from a geographical area that's too far away.
Yep.
Most of my stuff's down in Rhode Island right now. I'm living in Cambridge. So I calculated it. I have a lot of monthly projects down there. And the time I lose by just driving for those monthly projects is roughly 28 hours a month. Almost 30 hours a month. That's almost a full work week.
I
dead
probably
time
would
in the
be
car.
very, very similar.
Yeah. So that's why I feel so like stressed right now, is because I'm spending 28 hours in the car. So what I've started to do is have a few more local people just kind of take on those projects, because it's still kind of like worth keeping those relationships and things like that. So I've kind of like trained a few guys who second shop for me to work on those, and it's been going well so far. They were actually supposed to be literally shooting something right now for me, but it got canceled last minute this morning. That happens.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that, and I've been learning a lot of things in the process, and it's not perfect by any means, but we're getting there. We're
That's
getting
awesome. It's hard. It's very hard.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, you hinted just recently of a potential mindset shift of now maybe wanting a team. 'Cause that was always like a
It was always
pretty
I need to get my
solid
weekends
no.
back. That's
Just
what I need to
me.
get back. I don't have my weekends anymore.
Especially in the summer, I feel bad for my fiance because I'm like always working. And sometimes like when I shoot in Western Mass, if I try to book multiple things at the same time when I go out there.
Yep.
But like sometimes I do.
Your
I stay
clients
over.
aren't talking to each other, so
Right.
somebody will reschedule. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Oh yeah. No, and I like you know.
Somebody will go over, and then you're gonna try to get to this other shoot for the second half of the day, and then you got to tell them that it's a mess.
It is a mess. But I'm lucky that my parents still live in that area, so I can stay over their house if that.
Thank
It's
you,
the
mom and dad.
same thing
That's
for him.
exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I'm going down there tonight.
Yeah. It's tough. But like that's, I love seeing my family that's like a pro of being able to work in that area, but it's also like it doesn't feel like my home anymore. Like I very much feel at home at my apartment with my fiance. So when I sleep in my old room, I'm like I feel like a foreigner. It's so weird. It's so
I can
weird.
relate.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah. It's mentally just like kind of exhausting driving as much as we do.
Yeah. So you need to get your time back as well,
Yep.
because I mean, it's nice I'm sure you're probably the same way. Like when I'm not working, I'm like doing one of three things: sleeping, cooking, or like chores, like laundry or cleaning.
Yeah, exactly.
It's those three.
Going
like,
to the grocery store. Yeah.
I've been better recently about actually, because it's like you got to think about like why did we get into this in the first place? Everybody kind of got into it because you don't want to work the 9 to 5. You want more time freedom, things like that. So get more time freedom, you know, and actually enjoy the life that you're building for yourself.
Yes.
Which is the hardest thing when you're a driven person, because you're like, I should just be productive. And I think like for me right now, I'm 23. Like I know there's this Alex Hormozy is like, you shouldn't, or I think Dave Ramsey says you shouldn't step foot inside a restaurant in your 20s. Unless you're working there.
It's so
I'm like,
outdated.
Yeah, I roll. But
So outdated.
I just pre-ordered Hormozy's new book, actually.
yeah, and
I
Hormozy's
don't
like,
watch much of his stuff.
I mean, he's a workaholic because he loves working. But it's like, you know, I like working to a certain degree, but you still got to do life stuff.
I want to enjoy my life. Like we're young. We're never going to be as young
Yeah.
as we are at this very minute. I want to enjoy life. I want to travel. I want to spend time with my fiance.
Yeah.
Like I want to do all those things. And right now, like I don't think I'm doing that great of a job with the whole balance thing. And I am fully aware of the fact that, and this is another thing, the same mentor, Jeff Sullivan, who told me, you know, go out on your own, start your own business.
Yeah.
I told him like a while ago. This is the first time I was like kind of thinking about this. I was like, I can't find the balance. Like, how do you find the balance? He was like, there's no fucking balance.
There's two ways.
He's like, there is none. And he's right.
There's like two ways to get your time back. It's either like you can take on that volume of projects and outsource other responsibilities and divide and conquer type thing, or you do less for more.
Yep.
So you just work on higher budgets, things. And I'm trying to do both of those things at the same time.
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
way
very
harder than
like
it's...
everybody's like, oh yeah, like just charge more.
Yeah.
Well, all right, now I got to phase out some of these clients I'm currently working
Right.
with, or I got to get them onto the new program, or because I can't just like say see ya, because then I'm going to get a 1-star review on Google. And so it's easy, way easier said than done, but it's kind of like, those are the two branches that you go and become a little bit more of a owner. It's like still use your camera if you're passionate about it. Some people are like, I mean, I know you've talked about it, and I'm sure I'm the same mindset. Like I'm not going to hold the camera forever. I'm not going to be shooting stuff forever, because physically, you know, probably won't be able to. I'll still be in like working age, but you know, won't be able to handle the volume of shoots. So it's like I need to start doing this now so I can prep myself for later. It's like investing for retirement.
Yes.
Same thing.
And right now we're in a position where we don't have responsibilities of having children and like all like these other things.
While you're up.
So it's only going to get harder from here. So I'm really trying to dial in and find ways. Like that's one of my biggest goals for the rest of the year, because we're now in the second half of the year, right? Which is fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
But I really want to find a better balance. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be times like this is obviously busy season for us. Winter's a little quieter, but you know, finding a way to have a better balance of life and work, because right now I feel like it's just consumed with work.
Yeah. I think what I'm trying to do now too is just like do more things that are directly for fun. Even though I have all these things that are like just looming over, it's like still probably just take a time.
Yeah.
Like to do something like I'm learning golf.
Put it in your calendar. Yeah.
Put it in your calendar.
Yep. Prioritize it like you would a client. Because if you're not taking time for yourself and your mental health and your physical health, then the other stuff is going to fall too.
I mean, having somebody else you live with who can do that definitely helps.
Yeah.
She'll be like, want to go see comedy this weekend? I'll be like, I could be convinced.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yeah. We planned
They'd be like,
the
"You're
date
going."
night Saturday in Boston. I'm so excited. Like, I'm just looking forward to that. So like putting things in your calendar that you're looking forward to. Going to see F1.
Yep.
Wait, you're going again?
No.
Okay.
Like the actual race.
Yeah.
When you're like you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Like that would
November.
be fun for you. Yeah.
In the calendar?
Yeah. In the calendar.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was fun.
Glad I
Finally.
could join.
Yeah. It's about time. Where can people find you?
So can find me in a bunch of different places. You can find my business at Seamount Media on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure if you just type in Seamount Media anywhere, we'll come up. Website's there. If you want to follow me, I'm at @snadeau_media on Instagram, and I think I'm technically on YouTube too, but I want to post more there. It's not the priority right now, so I'm not even going to say I'm going to try more because I know I won't.
Self-awareness. We love that.
Oh, I'll also shout out my little food drink Instagram because that's fun. It's at APT2 menu. It's apartment 2 menu, where me and my fiance make fun cocktails and food. But that is also suffering right now because haven't had time to edit content for that either.
It's hard. Yeah.
That's where I am.
Love that. That's awesome. I've been trying to convince my fiance is a really good cook. I've been trying to convince him to make an Instagram page, but
don't.
Unsuccessful.
just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yep. Okay. He'll love to hear that because I've been trying to convince him, but he's like, no, I just want to do it.
I told my fiance, I'm like, if you see me take out a camera while I'm also golfing, like, don't let me do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, this will be a pure enjoyment thing. No content will ever be made from this.
Yep. I get it.
I've ruined cooking for myself. I ruined making videos.
Yeah. Yep. Some things are just meant to be enjoyed. Yeah. Love that. Well, thank you so much. This was a great conversation. You can find us at Humble Hustle Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. So subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and let us know what topics you want us to cover. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.